Moving on to another story, the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority says it will go after villagers on the country's borders who are aiding smuggling through renting out storage spaces to smugglers. Speaking at a tour of Bulawayo Devolution Project at the Zimbabwe Revenue Authority Bulawayo Warehouse, Permanent Secretary for Presidential Affairs and Devolution Tafadzwa Maguti said porous borders remain a challenge and said some of these villages on the country's borders had been turned into warehouses for smugglers. He said Zimra will intensify the use of drone technology to ensure monitoring of border activities.
We are aware that we've got porous borders as a country. We are aware that there are some villages along the borders who are now leasing out storage space to smugglers, and we'll deal with them decisively. We are aware that we also have political elements who try to politicize His Excellency's vision of rebuilding the economy by stopping smuggling. We can confirm that this has nothing to do with politics. This has everything, however, to do with the livelihoods of Zimbabweans. And as it is, I would like to take this opportunity to applaud Bulawayo Metropolitan Province, in particular Office of the Minister of State, the Zimbabwe Public Police, and of course Zimra, for a sterling job well done, and all the other government departments, Ministry of Industry and Commerce and the Consumer Protection Commission.
Now, Maguti said Bulawayo and Matabeleland South were leading in smuggling activities due to proximity to South Africa and Botswana.
What we are seeing in Bulawayo is because of its proximity to South Africa and to Botswana. We've got a huge challenge that we've got porous borders. And one of the most significant provinces that is leading us into this space is Matabeleland South. And so as government, we have directed Matabeleland South to ensure that they enforce much more better, because during the Christmas holidays we didn't see much action there, but also to ensure that we utilize the drone technology that we've now deployed within Zimra across on our borders. As you can see behind me, we've got hundreds of thousands worth of alcohol in this warehouse, which was confiscated. And as you saw outside, we've got many vehicles which were also impounded for smuggling. What we're simply saying, according to the Customs and Excise Act, anyone who tries to import, export, introduce, or anyhow put something onto the Zimbabwean economy or Zimbabwean market rather, without following the relative customs and excise laws, the law says they are stealing from the state.
He said all smuggled goods that did not pay duty, including vehicles, will no longer be redeemable through fines but will be forfeited to the state as the government seeks to protect local manufacturers. Now,
I am here for this because I think the better part of 2024, it was always about the tax shops, counterfeit goods, expired goods. You know, we were trying to build a tax base so that we can have service provision, whether it's you know, our highways, our roads, whether it's the health sector. And Zimra, like, look at the football person jumping out. Zimra's main mandate is as the tax collector, and that is where, you know, the money that comes in for our health, for you know, what do you call it, relief whenever we have cyclones or natural disasters, it all comes from that. And to see that intentionality and being able to identify the key problem areas, because I think it's always been assumed that people were probably just smuggling things in, you know, underneath the buses or in their pockets through the major entry points.
Things that are actually
big things that are happening, big containers, and the villages are being used for that. I think I wouldn't want to just see a situation where, you know, obviously it's illegal for them to be housing and creating warehouses for illegal goods, but I think I hope they can get the villagers on board so that they can be sort of pseudo border patrol officers. Like, hey,
you get us into trouble.
They are empowered, because they are empowered in a certain way. How that looks like, I think, is a conversation that can be had. But I think also the implementation of drone technology, I hope it's just not just lip service. They are actually doing that, because I know a couple of people who run bars here in Harare. Funny, I won't mention any names, but you know, they were telling me we were asking for certain whiskies during the festive season. Mdaraga, takatozobomira because akomana waitichi waitipinzira wangu agwedzera ma percentage because kuri kupisa kuboda. And I'm like, oh, you guys are making me buy stolen goods. I enjoy it.
And when you buy it, you're innocent. I mean, you don't
You're not
know.
innocent,
You don't know.
But you
don't know that it's
you're
been
enabling.
smuggled.
But you're enabling it.
Of course.
Because the moment we buy it, because of the IOG.
No, I mean, when you buy your alcohol, I mean, you buy it innocently because you just want to have a good drink. You don't even, you're not going to go to the extent of tracing where it came from and etc.
And that's why we end up falling victim to the counterfeit, the fake stuff.
That's how we end up here. But kudos to the authorities for coming up with this initiative, rather, and it's good to see that level of intelligence that it's zeroing it down even to villages. It's good to see.